Leaving the town of Monson, entering the 100-mile wilderness. So here we go. Amazing. Can't believe I'm here. Just crazy, crazy, crazy to think about. Only 100 and I think 20 miles or 117 miles left to go. I think it's 17. It's about 17 because after you get out of the 100-mile, then you got a few miles to the base of Katahdin. And then you get 5 miles up Katahdin, and then 5 miles back down. Of course, the 5 miles back down doesn't count for anything. Kind of like the Amicalola approach trail. That didn't count for anything either. So, okay. Last touch with civilization for 100 miles. Amazing. Here we go. Okay, Appalachian Trail caution: there are no places to obtain supplies or get help until A-Ball Bridge 100 miles north. Do not attempt this section unless you have a minimum of 10 days supplies and are fully equipped. This is the longest wilderness section of the entire AT, and its difficulty should not be underestimated. Good hiking. Here we go. Alright. I don't have 10 days of supplies. I've got about 8. So I may have to do some rationing along the way, but there's just no way to carry 10 days of supplies. Just to let you know, there's no place to charge anything out here, so I will be doing probably very limited filming throughout the 100-mile wilderness, so we'll see. One of the other hikers just told me that this is the tallest waterfall on the Appalachian Trail. I didn't look into the name of it yet, but look at this outstanding view here. I don't know. I seem to think Buttermilk Falls in Pennsylvania might be a little bit, or New Jersey actually. I'm not sure where it is. New Jersey or Pennsylvania might be a little taller than this, but maybe this is a continuous span. That one's like multiple falls. See if I can get you a better view of it all over here without falling in. Woo! I'll climb down there maybe. There's a great view of the falls. Okay. Can't believe what I came across out here in the 100-mile wilderness. Trail magic to the extreme. Gentleman's got a cabin out here. And it's an 1/8 of a mile from the trail. So we walked down, he had a sign out and makes fresh burgers, hot dogs, beer, soda. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. What a great guy. Didn't expect to have a treat like that. So we had the fantastic trail magic. Did about 15 miles today, first day in the wilderness. That trail magic was just unbelievable. I had no idea. Just got my water out of the stream. And I'll take you for a tour of my home for tonight. Up here on the hill. Yeah, that trail magic, I didn't think we'd see any signs of civilization, 100-mile wilderness, but that was just a shock to see that. So we got Jailbird and Toodles here tonight, and I started a fire before, so they're hanging out by the fire while I went and got my water. You guys want to say hi? Huh? You want to say hi? For your fans at home on YouTube?
Hey! Hey there.
There you go. Anybody at home, they can watch you.
Hey, I just wanted to say hi to my wife and children back home. Especially my wife, Lynn. I love you, honey.
You can read those idiot cards pretty good, man.
And to my beautiful daughters, Isabel and Mimi.
Okay, I'm running out of time on my phone, man.
Okay.
How about you? Anybody you want to say hi to?
I'd like to say hi to my wonderful parents.
There you go.
Great girlfriend, Isha.
All right.
Who is being so supportive of the fact that I've been gone for 5.5 months.
You're
I hear that.
Grandmother?
My wife is in the same boat. She's been alone all this time, holding down the fort, and just been a wonderful support. She's been my biggest supporter right here. So, y'all have a good night. Good morning, day 156 of the 100-mile wilderness. It is day number 2. Walking along a river, and we got a pretty good climb coming up today. It's supposed to be a little tricky with the rocks and a elevation change and everything, so it should be probably the hardest day of the 100-mile wilderness. So we'll see how we do. Later. Top of the first climb of the day.
It doesn't show a view.
Doesn't show a view. This is a hell of a view. I can't believe they.
Yeah, this could be Barren Mountain.
Yeah, it might be Barren Mountain that we're on. So.
Barren Mountain is the very. Going over there.
Yeah, there's our next stop up there. Oh yeah, there's a fire tower up top. Beautiful though.
Fire tower of Barren Mountain.
Yep, top of Barren Mountain. Elevation 2670. It's supposed to be one of the nicer views in the 100-mile wilderness, and you can see it is beautiful. Wow, what a view. Same view I've seen on 90% of the other hills that I've climbed. Oh well. At least it stopped raining for a little bit. Another nice view. None of this is what I pictured when I heard of the 100-mile wilderness. Everybody said, oh, it's flat and all that. So I've been doing multiple climbs today. Not real tall, but just different than I expected. And the rain stopped. It's awesome. Because before it was treacherous. I fell 3 times before on the wet rocks. It's impossible to get a grip. So this is Monument Cliff, 3rd Mountain. The last one was 4th Mountain. This is 3rd Mountain. Alright, don't know what we have next. And this is the final climb of the day. This is Chairback Mountain. If you picture the back of a chair, it goes straight down. I think that's what we have in store on the descent. So that's going to be a little tricky because the rocks are still going to be wet in a lot of places. Wish I knew what I was looking at here, but I'm not sure. Pretty soon, before long, we'll be starting to get glimpses of Katahdin. That'll be pretty magical. Yesterday, we did about, this is day 157. Did about 16 miles yesterday, which is good. If I can keep up that average, I'll be out of here in 7 days. Today is day 3 in the wilderness. And first thing this morning, just got everything all packed up, got my shoes on and everything, and I come down the trail about 100 yards and I have to ford a river. So I had to sit down, take off the shoes, unzip the bottom of the pants, go through all that, get to the other side, put them back on. So got started around 7:30 and now it's 7:45. So it was kind of a waste of time, but didn't know it was coming. I guess I should have looked it up. But we'll see what we're going to do today. Got the last tough climbs of the wilderness, apparently. A couple mountains to climb today. So, looking forward to getting that over with and maybe get into some easygoing areas. It's supposed to be nasty with the roots, rocks, and mud, I guess, kind of like here. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can make some, at least continue this 15 minimums. That'll put me the 7 days, so that's what I'm hoping for. People tell me, I just ran into a gentleman who's a supported hiker. He's got somebody that comes out every night, and all he carries with him is is like a fanny pack with some water. Can't believe it. But anyway, he said the weather report says it's supposed to clear today, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how it goes, and I'll talk to you later. Stopping to catch my breath on the top of Gulf Haggis Mountain, elevation 2683. So this is taller than it was yesterday. I don't know. Keep thinking it's going to flatten out, but not yet. Apparently the moose like it up here. I'm surrounded by moose droppings. It's just crazy all over the place. I'm going to just hang out here for a minute and have a payday bar and see if I see any moose. If I do, I'll film them. Okay, guess what kind of view I got? That's correct, fog, intermittent rain. But here I am on top of White Gap Mountain, elevation 3644. And I do believe, I'm not sure, but I think this is the highest point that I'll be hitting until it gets hot. So, no heartbreak there. Had my fill of climbing for a while, and it's freezing up here, so let me get back to work. Later. Down at a low enough elevation, I'm under the clouds now, so I actually have a view, and it's quite nice. You can see back up on top of the mountain, the fog's rolling through there, and that's what was keeping me from getting a view. So I got a downward track for the next 4 miles, a little bit of level, a lot of downhill, and that'll bring me to 16.5 I think for today, and that's where I'm going to be stopping. It was a few tough climbs, nothing major, but tiring day, so get some rest tonight and hit it hard tomorrow. End of a good day. Did 16.5 today, and it was a tough hike. We had 4 good climbs on it, and that should be the worst of the 100-mile wilderness. So got my fire going, got my tent set up, just had my dinner. The sun's about ready to set, and I'm about ready to go to bed. We got a jailbird up top. He's hiking with me today, so had a good night, good day, and looking forward to tomorrow. Day 158. The morning has brought us some sunshine, so that's beautiful to see. We got 2 400 footers approximately to climb this morning, so that's not bad at all. And then it mellows out a little bit. Right now I got to do a river crossing, so I won't be able to stay on the phone. Looks like a gorgeous day. Probably going to feel the heat because we're not used to it. So talk to you later. Bye. So today is my youngest daughter's birthday, and I'm not going to be there. And I think this is probably the first time in her life that I'm not going to be there on her birthday. So I feel kind of bad about that. I was able to get cell reception and spoke to her and sang her a beautiful rendition of Happy Birthday, I'm sure, she thought. But I just wanted to give her an additional shout out on my channel and tell her happy birthday, Kate, love you and very proud of you, and you have a wonderful day, and when I get home we will celebrate, a little delayed celebration. So that's it. I actually believed what I heard about the weather and thought that it wasn't going to rain today. Imagine that, how silly. Well, what would the trail be without rain every damn day, right? Gonna keep giving right to the end. So we got Jailbird here, and we broke down camp already. We're at a shelter last night. I forget the name of it, but I gotta show you all something now. This is your government at work. Apparently the government has mandated that all the new privies on the Appalachian Trail, when they are built, have to be handicap accessible. So the trails aren't. I mean, you got to climb, you got to hike, you got to do all this. But yet, let me show you this. It's fantastic. This is the new style privy. It has to have a wheelchair ramp, a door wide enough to accommodate a wheelchair, and just be handicap accessible. How ridiculous is this? So you figure a couple $1,000s for a privy, the extras that they have to put on to accommodate people in wheelchairs who have no way to get out here. So just the wisdom of our government at work. I just thought you'd love that. Today we're gonna head into a place where they pick you up in the 100-mile wilderness. They pick you up by boat and they bring you to their place, and we're gonna spend the night there, get cleaned up, and then hit the last 2 days of our hike out here tomorrow. So it's gonna be a pleasure to get cleaned up after 4 or 5 days out here, and can't pass up this opportunity. See you later. So walking down the trail this morning and I see this sign, View of Katahdin. This would be the first time. So I'm going to come over here and see if we can get a glimpse of it. We're still quite a ways away, so it'll be very small and non-impressive from the distance that we're at. But let's take a look and see what we got. Another one of these beautiful ponds.
Rocks.
What stupid rocks?
This kid got rocks. He's got to put them somewhere, and then you're on the internet. That's it right there. Is that it?
Holy crap. That must be.
I thought it was going to be way out there. But
That must be Katahdin right there, I guess, because that's the biggest mountain we can see from here. Wow.
I'm going to try to zoom.
Okay, mountain, you're going to be mine in a few days. Sitting on the dock, my feet in the water. Beautiful morning on the AT.
Wi-Fi okay up there? Is the Wi-Fi okay? Okay, good. And internet too? Internet as well?
We don't have any Wi-Fi there, but if you have it on your phone.
As I mentioned, I'm staying at a place called White House Landing tonight. There's the main building. They have a dining room in there, a place to hang out. That's where they serve dinner, breakfast, all that. They have some individual cabins over here, and then a bunkhouse in the back where we're staying. And this is the gorgeous view from the front. And they pick you up in a boat and bring you back to the trail in the morning. Katahdin is just around the corner over there. So, talk to you tomorrow. Back for a quick spin, and it's a beautiful night. Nice sunset over there. I'm going to go over and try and see if I can get you a view of Katahdin from the water. Look at that sunset. That's awesome. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you Katahdin. Okay. There above the tree line is Katahdin. It looks huge from here. Look at that. Very awesome. So now I got to paddle back in before the sun sets completely. Got a long way to go over to that house on the shore. So I got to get going. Good night. Day 160 back on the trail after an evening at White House Landing. Fabulous place. Got the boat ride in, the boat ride out. Had dinner, had breakfast, bunk to lie on, and just gorgeous, gorgeous views. Fantastic. So a little bit reinvigorated. 2 long days coming up, and then I'll be out of the 100-mile wilderness. And then we've got a 10-mile hike inside the park to get to the bottom of Katahdin. And then after that 10 miles, it'll be approximately 5.2 to the top of Katahdin, and then another 5.2 to get back down. And so, looking forward to the end, and looking forward to getting back to home. But I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this tremendously. Torn emotions. So, talk to you later. These ponds, lakes just don't cease to amaze me how gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous they are. It's got a nice rock bottom. Look at that. It is just crystal clear, gorgeous, quiet, fantastic. They're not loaded with lakes aren't loaded with geese like they are down in New Jersey, so you don't have the issue with the bacteria. There's mussels, there's clams. Look at these shells, the size of them. Freshwater clams. Just fantastic. I'm gonna miss this. It's really almost painful to think that I'll never see this again. Just gorgeous. Take it all in. There's the beast Katahdin. Right out there. It'll take me another 2 days to get there. Wow. Fantastic. So this is the day event end of day 159 in my tent. Had to make dinner in my tent because it's pouring rain out. And get ready, cleaned up, and get ready to go to sleep. And tomorrow I should be out of the 100-mile wilderness as long as the flooding permits. So, talk to you tomorrow. Beginning of day 160. Last day in the 100-mile wilderness. Still drizzling a little bit this morning, and now it's cleared up and it looks like a beautiful day. So today, doing relatively low mileage, a little over 10, maybe 12, something like that, just to get out of the wilderness and into a town. A-Ball Bridge. There's supposed to be a couple of campsites there. Following day, I'll do the 10-mile hike into Baxter State Park to the base of Katahdin, and then try to hitch a ride out of there, and then get back in there Friday morning early for a attempted summit on Friday. Ouch, that hurt. So that's where I'm at now. Have a good one. There's this morning's view of Katahdin. Getting bigger and bigger. Look at that. Clouds are up at the top of it. That's amazing. Day after tomorrow, hopefully to the top. So only about half a mile left in the 100-mile wilderness. And my thoughts on it, in case anybody's thinking about hiking it. I was under the impression, I don't know if anybody specifically stated, that the whole thing was like really flat and easy, and overall it is pretty easy. You don't feel real isolated. I mean, the name would imply that you're just out there with no sign of civilization around and all that, but you cross multiple logging roads. You have trail magic at that one guy's cabin. You have the option of staying at that beautiful place that I went to on the lake, so it's really not that isolated or tough. The only thing that did surprise me a little bit was the climbing involved at the southern end of it. So if anybody's thinking about doing it, just be aware of that. Just be aware that there is a little bit of climbing at the southern end. So it was when I started it. First 2 days, I guess 2.5, 3 days, whatever. I did the 100-mile wilderness in around 6 days, so it wasn't too bad. Depending on your speed and your capabilities, they do recommend taking 10 days of food. That's a 10-mile day average, so you'd have to judge that on your own, but it is a beautiful hike. There's a lot of spots where you could potentially go swimming and spend a night on the lake and things like that. So it's beautiful. Highly recommend it if you're up for it. And I think I'm seeing there's a registration box for when you're going in. So I'm just about done, folks. So maybe I'll show you something from town. There's the warning for people going in about the 10 days of food and all that good stuff. I've seen a few people coming in from the other side with these huge bags. Oh God, and just dying under them. And that was in the last couple miles where I don't know how they're gonna make it. So good luck to them. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye. I'm out of the 100-mile wilderness. I guess that's A-Ball Bridge up ahead. And we'll see what's going on up there. From the A-Ball Bridge, look at Katahdin up there. Doesn't look so bad, huh? Wow. That's gonna be fun. Hopefully have some good weather for it. Done with the 100-mile wilderness, and we're all setting up in camp. We got a beautiful spot here right over the river. Tomorrow we got 10 miles into Katahdin, and then the following day we summit. So we got Pudge over here, we got Engine and Caboose, we got Honey Sticks, we got Sarge, and we have on the ukulele. So it's gonna be, should be a good night. We're gonna miss this every night. fried chicken down here.